NHS Quarantine podcast, where we interview Spartans that have done tremendous things for the Oakland community and the class of 2020. My name is Diego Perez.
And I'm Amira Biba, and we're here to celebrate these amazing people.
All right, so Mr. Cryan, as we know, this whole pandemic that we're going through has affected a lot of us, especially the spring athletes. But how has the cancellation of spring sports and activities affected yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's, for one, with the athletes and the coaches that actually would have been hitting the fields and the courts, having that thing that is your passion, for a lot of our athletes, especially our coaches too, that's their passion, is to get out there and work with athletes, or even the athletes who play baseball, that's their thing. And to just have that, just taken away, it's rough. For me, it's just, I always love going out to games or matches and watching that emotion, and watching people who have passion with that activity just display that, and I miss seeing that. And I miss seeing our student athletes, doing their thing and performing at their best and competing and just playing for their community and their school, that pride that you have when you're part of an activity or a club or a sport, and be able to represent that out there is, there's nothing like it. So that's what I miss. Just getting to watch that every day and be in the mix with helping our athletes out, compete at that high level.
All right.
Okay. So what words of support and encouragement would you give to those senior athletes that expected to play in their last game or meet?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, nothing can replace that, that senior night you didn't get, or that last game or shot at going to state, what have you. But the thing I always go back to and think about when I start getting down about this stuff is, that it's difficult. It's a difficult time, but the one thing about sports and just being a part of it is that, and you guys know from being athletes, it's not always, you don't always win, or you don't always have a good match or a good game, or there's always adversity, and there's always challenges that you got to overcome. And wow, this is a huge challenge, a huge time of adversity. But I think as being an athlete, you're ready to face those things, and that on the other end things are going to get better, and then all the experiences that you've had up to this point, while you may not have gotten your senior experiences, so to say, you're prepared for it. You have so many more experiences the previous 3 years that you can always fall back on, that you had a good time with, and that you'll remember. And moving forward, you'll always have this. You'll always be known as that class of 2020 that had this moment too. So
yeah, those are great words of encouragement, Mr. Cryan. I know we had a lot of exciting programs that we're going to showcase this spring, like for example, like our Mr. Gurney's baseball team and our track athletes and their events that they're really good at. But what was the event that you were looking for the most, that excited you the most about the spring season that was going to come up?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we've had a really good fall and winter moving into the spring, and it looked really promising. Like you said, I know, like baseball and even softball last year, they made it all the way to that regional title game. And I know they were looking to hopefully take it that one step further. We had badminton girls go to state last year. I know our badminton team was looking forward to it, starting strong, both on the boys and girls track side. There was a good handful of athletes or even relay teams that had shots of going to the state tournament, which would have been exciting for sure. It's a good time to be a Spartan athlete, I think. We've got a lot of great athletes and a lot of great programs that are either continuing their success or really moving their way up the ladder. So yeah, and as a track guy, I was looking forward to track meets for sure.
Of course,
we were hosting quite a few.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so you gave some words of advice to the seniors. So do you have any advice for the underclassmen that are seeing what has happened to the seniors?
Sure. It's when I talk to the seniors, on our spotlight features every week, the one thing we always talk about is that as the veteran of the team, like what can you kind of hand down to the other kids or the lower levels or the younger athletes? And it's just keep working hard, and especially during this time, your season might be on pause, or you might be going into the fall, trying to prep for that fall season. Don't stop working. Don't let this be an excuse to just start playing video games and just sit in the living room and not get out there and do stuff. There's plenty of opportunity to get out there and do stuff. And I know doing that on your own and without any, support next to you is tough, but you got to get out there. You got to keep prepping, whether it's getting out, doing conditioning and things like that. So just stay with it, and you're going to be better prepared than the guy who is sitting at home not doing it. So just keep trying to get out there and be active.
All right. And Mr. Cryan, what inspired you to interview senior athletes on the All-CHS Athletics YouTube channel?
See, what inspired me to interview them, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we talked a little bit earlier, like you're not getting your senior nights, you're not getting, all those things that you may have looked forward to. So just to, our teams aren't going on the field and showcasing themselves. So I want to do something that, could take each one of our spring teams, put a little spotlight on a team, and also, get to know some of the seniors that we may not have gotten to know on the field of the court too. So, and it's been, for me, I miss interacting with them on a weekly basis. So for me, it was a little, but for me too, but, just to get that out there, and our community should know about these great student athletes we've got in the building. So I just wanted to make sure I could do something to promote them.
Yeah. So I know we're all bored at home right now during this quarantine, but what have you been doing to keep busy?
There's plenty going on at the Cryan house for sure. I got an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old, so I've become a quasi second grade teacher a little bit, and pre-K teacher, getting them through their stuff, and also, taking care of athletics on the back end. But, weather's getting a little better. We're getting outside. We're rollerblading. We're doing other things. So definitely a ton of stuff here. And we've been, my wife and I have been knocking out The Office. We never watched The Office, so we're knocking out The Office seasons right now. I think we're up to season 5.
Oh, boy.
So.
All right. What has been your favorite memory of the class of 2020?
Man, favorite memory. The one when I think about, first thing that comes to mind is I used to teach a summer class called Freshman Academy, which was a course where incoming freshmen, fresh off of 8th grade, would come in and just get a little ahead. And there were quite a few students in Freshman Academy that I now see as seniors graduating, and it's cool to see that full circle. But I think this past year, I think of how involved our senior class was with support in our athletic programs, get them out to football games, basketball games, and filling those stadium seats was awesome. The atmosphere this year around sporting events was incredible. Being in building to see our girl, like when we actually hosted these conference matches, being in building to actually see our girls swim program win conference, and even our boys wrestling program break that 28-year drought in our house and clinch that title was outstanding too. Those are special moments for sure.
All right, so we know this is like your first actual full year of being athletic director. So we want to know, how was your transition from being a math teacher to athletic director?
It's quite a change. Going from a teacher to an office, basically. You're around the students 24/7. That's the big part I miss, is especially from coaching, especially miss coaching. Basically every minute I was interacting with the students or the athletes, and try to create as many opportunities as I can to do that still. But that's definitely the part I miss and the most difficult. I can go to games and work with programs and SALT and things like that, but nothing kind of replaces that daily interaction you get with everyone. But it's been awesome. It's a very rewarding job for sure. As a coach, that was my favorite part of the day was coaching. But to be able to help any way I can. All 24 of our programs is really special to me, and it's a good job. So I love it.
That's great. Well, Mr. Cryan, we had a great time interviewing you. We've interviewed before you. We had Mr. Rep on here. We had Mr. Morgan and Mrs. Morgan, and absolutely my favorite, this one. But who do you recommend to interview next?
You know, I think Dr. Leitz would be a great one. You know, I know she's been working really hard behind the scenes with organizing e-learning and getting everything and trying to promote our class of 2020. That would be a great one. Yeah, I think that would be your next one.
All right. Thank you very much,
All right.
Mr. Cryan.
Thank you,
Enjoy
Mr.
the rest of your day, all right?
Cryan.
All right, thanks for having us, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Stay safe.
You guys too.